Day 4 of the trip was 439 kilometers of 120 kilometers gravel with very scenic, very animal and very interesting areas. The people from the guest house recommended this road, and I must say I am not disappointed. I think we will probably call this portion of the trip the animal section, because it was just unreal to see everything. I tried to go up to the tower at Marakele National Park, but unfortunately there's lines in this world, so it was a no-go with the bike. Morning, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Okay, thank you.
These traffic control points are basically just because we're in a nature reserve. They just like to know a bit more about the people going in and out, so they just check for legalities, stock theft, etc. I'm now basically just riding next to the mountain and just going up and up and up. On the left there's a vulture feeding area. I think they actually call this the vulture kitchen, where they feed the vultures to assist in the breeding and preserving of the species. In every family there's a lazy one. This one is just there for the ride. It's actually nice to see they get rid of all the invasive trees. A nice coffee stop. There was still a bit of a little damage and water patches and traffic spurs in the mud, but at this stage the road was quite nice and dry, and I could really concentrate on looking for animals and not on the road. And some zebra. And a warthog. That was nice. I love these pointy-tailed jobbies. We're now getting into a more cultivated area. You can see where they've cleared the bushes. And then we're at corrugations. It's almost impossible for a sandy road like this not to have corrugations. I decided to include the Rankin's Pass on the trip, and we'll basically just go through and at the bottom turn around and come back. You can see how it changed again after the mountains. It's now a much more flatter, much more cultivated area that they farm with more domesticated animals. Okay, I haven't done many kilometers up to this point due to all the animals and the beautiful scenery. It's a bit of a coffee break now. The old days, these distance markers actually had the different directions on both sides. This one, by the looks, doesn't. Otherwise, I'm exactly in the middle. And remember, do not waste something for the birds to feed on. And then there were buffalo or wildebeest. I can't really remember, and my eyes are not that good anymore. I saw this warning and I said to myself, okay, let's go slower, because I don't see anything out of the ordinary, but maybe the old people had something in mind to guide us. The road at this stage was a bit more washed away from the recent rains, and then it turned into sand, but fortunately with the new tires it wasn't too bad going. After the turn off, I hit tar. This beloved country of ours. It rained here a few years ago, and it was more cost effective to just make a driffy next to the road instead of repairing the original bridge. This one is grazing right next to the house. Another beautiful herd of wildebeest. And some antelope. I had to go slower and slower because there was just more and more animals around. And then there was sand and I had to grab the handlebars. Because one hand in sand is not a good thing. This game farm had one of the most interesting entrances I've seen in a long, long time. And I encountered some traffic on the road, and it was actually slow traffic. The freshly graded road was actually very sandy, but it's quite enjoyable before I hit the tar again. And then there was cattle just grazing it next to the road. After refueling at Tabazimbi, I had a mundane road towards All Days. But this is probably the road with the most potholes I've seen in my life. At some stages the road is so bad, it is actually just a gravel road and no tar was left. In this town, we've got people that work with animals. And then there's other people far away that work with the human type of animals. Somewhere hidden in the darkness is just the customers. And I will have a nice hamburger. And this was my room for last night. I need to do all my travels before I land on one of these little four-wheelers.